Hello, I'm going to give you some tips for the Entry 2 Listening and Speaking exam. Let's start with the format of the exam. The first part is listening. You'll have about 5 questions. You can listen 3 times. You can use a paper dictionary, not a mobile and not an electronic dictionary. And part is speaking. You will do a presentation. You will have 10 minutes to prepare what you want to say. You can use a paper dictionary. You will need to talk for at least 3 minutes with your teacher. You will be recorded while you speak, but don't worry, it's okay. Third part is speaking, but this is a discussion with other students. Again, you will have 10 minutes to prepare. You can use a paper dictionary. You will talk in a group with other candidates and the teacher. You will talk for at least 4 minutes per candidate. So, for example, if there are 3 students taking the exam together, you will talk together for at least 12 minutes, up to 18 minutes. Again, you will be recorded. Now, let's talk about the listening. You should read the questions and think about the answers before you listen. If you do that, it will help you to listen better. It will be easier to find the answers if you understand the question properly and if you think about what the answer might be. For example, if the question asks you about the colour of something, you know you need to listen for a colour like red, blue, yellow, green. Or if the question asks for a phone number, you need to listen for the number to be ready to write it. Check any vocabulary before you listen. So if there are words you don't understand, look in your dictionary. Ask your teacher for help if you need it. It will help you because if you don't understand the question, how will you find the answer? The first time you listen to the recording, just listen. Don't write anything, just listen. Try to understand the general idea of the whole recording. This will help you because when you listen the second and third time, you will know exactly where to find the answers to each question. Also, when you have heard the listening for the first time, you can write down the answers that you remember. You will have time before you listen again. And when you listen again, the second time and the third time, check the answers that you wrote down and complete any missing answers. You will hear the answers in the order that the questions are written. So, for example, if you hear the answer for question 2, but you didn't hear the answer for question 1, forget about question 1. Move on to the next question because the answer for question 1 has already gone. Okay, try and get it the next time you hear the recording. The last question usually tests your overall understanding of the recording. So it might ask you generally who is in the conversation or where you might hear the discussion. The first time you listen, if you just listen and don't write anything, it will be easier for you to get this question. Don't worry about making spelling mistakes when you write your answers. As long as it looks more or less like the word that you are trying to say, it should be okay. But you can check the spelling in the dictionary if you need to. If you are not sure of an answer after you have listened 3 times, just guess. Write any answer that you think might be okay. If you don't write anything, you won't get the mark. But if you write something, maybe you will have the right answer. Talk about speaking now. For the presentation, when you speak alone with the teacher, you will need to say and spell your full name. For example, my name is Zahra Valides, Zahrabilides. You will need to say your full address and postcode. Don't just say the name of the street. You must say the house number or the flat number as well. Otherwise, that is not your full address. You'll need to say your phone number as well, so make sure you know it. If you get one number wrong, don't worry, it's okay. The teacher is not going to check. But don't say that your phone number is 0123456789, because clearly that is not true. It also doesn't sound like a phone number. It's a good idea to practice this information at home, because this information will always be asked in the second part of the exam. If you practice at home, you will be more confident in the exam. You also don't need to write out your full address and phone number in the exam when you are preparing. It might be an idea to write your name to help you remember the spelling of the letters. But if you practice all of this at home, it will help you. It will also save time in the exam. When you plan what you are going to say, remember you have 10 minutes to plan. Don't write full sentences. You don't have time for that. If you write full sentences, when you are doing your speaking, you will finish reading your sentences very quickly, and you will still have lots of time to talk, and you won't know what to say. So you should plan only key words, important words that will help you to remember the main ideas of what you want to say. When you answer the questions, give details, reasons, examples. Each key word that you write in your plan should help you to remember the details. When you say the answer using the keyword, give an example, give reasons, give more information. This will make your talk longer, and it will be easier to fill the whole time with relevant information. You should add any more relevant information when you have answered all the questions. Don't go off topic, stick to the same topic, and just provide more examples, more information, anything that is related to the questions in your task. Use a range of tenses as well. If, for example, the question asks you to talk about your current hobby, you can talk about your hobby now, but you can also say in the past when you started your hobby. You can say how you think your hobby will change in the future. So here you will show the examiner that you can speak not only in the present tense, but you can use the past and the future as well. This will be very good for your marks. So I told you you should make a plan in the 10 minutes that you have to prepare for your speaking. So let me show you an example. Let's say the question that you are asked to talk about is your favorite room. The task tells you that you should describe it, say why you like it, and what you do there. So let me show you my plan. So let me think. Yes, my favorite room is the kitchen. I need to think about what it looks like so I can describe it. I need to think about what I do there, why I like it, and let me plan one more relevant idea just in case I speak too quickly and I finish all my ideas quickly. I might say, yes, I want to change about my favorite room. So I've got the 4 main ideas. Now I need to think about what I will say for each idea. To describe what it looks like, I could think of these words. So I know when I'm talking, I can talk about the colour, the size, the furniture in the room, for example, tables and chairs. I can talk about the machines or the electric appliances that are in the kitchen. For example, the microwave, washing machine, dishwasher, toaster. Notice I didn't write microwave in full or washing machine. I just wrote them in short. This helps you to save time. So if you just write half the word, but you know what it means, that will help you save time in your planning. I could also talk about what is in the cupboards. So there are lots of things I can say to describe the room. And of course, I will not just say the kitchen is blue. I can say the walls and the floor in my kitchen are blue because I painted the kitchen and I chose this colour. Okay, so we don't just say the key word, we expand, give more information. So what I do in the kitchen, I've got lots of verbs here, things that I do. When I talk about each one, I can talk about how often I do these things in the kitchen, why I do them in the kitchen, Maybe I can give an example of when I last did these things in the kitchen. Again, we are using different tenses. So why I like the kitchen? I have different reasons here. When I talk about each one, I will give examples. I will say why I like the decoration, or why I think it's comfortable. Okay? And with things that I want to change, if I have time to talk about this, I might say that I want to make the kitchen bigger because it is small. I want to change the curtains because they are old, and so on. Okay. You don't have to plan your talk like this. You can use bullet points like this. So we can have the same information as a list in different sections to help you remember what you want to say. Use whichever plan is easier for you. Moving on to the discussion now, the last part of the exam. You should plan not only the things that you want to say, but also questions that you want to ask. Don't forget, in the exam, in the discussion, you should ask your partners at least 2 questions. So if you think about the questions in advance and write them down, it will help you. It is a good idea to plan 4 questions. You have to ask 2, but plan 4, just in case one of your partners asks one of your questions. You will panic because you don't have another question to ask. If you have 4 questions, you won't need to panic. Or your partner might answer the question before you've even answered it, before you've even asked it. So it's a good idea to have extra questions just in case. Listen to your partners. Make sure that you're not asking them a question that they have already talked about. If you do, if you ask them a question that they have already answered, they will be confused. The teacher will also know that you are not listening. It's a good idea to show that you are listening with your body language. Smile. Show your reactions. Really? Oh no. How interesting. Okay. So this really shows that you are part of the discussion. It helps you to have a more natural discussion as well. If one of your partners is quiet in the discussion, for example, if there are 3 of you, 2 of you are talking and 1 is not, you need to include that person into the discussion. Ask them questions. Ask for their opinion. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you want to say something? That way they will become part of the conversation as well. If you don't include them, you're not having a good discussion. Don't take turns to say everything you want. This happens very often in the exam and it's not natural. So, for example, one person starts talking and answers all the questions in the task. And then the next person starts talking and answers all the questions in the task. And then the third person does the same. And then each person asks a question each. This is not a natural discussion. So one person should say a little bit and then ask for somebody else's opinion. Include the others so you can all talk. Don't worry about saying everything at once. You have enough time to say all of your ideas in the discussion. Use phrases to show that you are interested in what your partners are saying, to show that you agree with them or disagree with them. For example, you can say things like, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh no, what happened? So what did you do? You can ask for reasons. Why? Why not? You can show that you agree or disagree, or maybe you're not sure if you agree or not. Here are some useful expressions to help you with that. Or if somebody is talking too much and you aren't getting a chance to speak, you could interrupt by saying, sorry to interrupt, and then say what you would like to add. Or, can I say something? This will help to show that you are trying to become involved in the discussion. It's very important that you do that if your partner is not letting you talk. One final tip I would like to share with you is that use these pieces of advice every time you do a listening or speaking task, not only in the exam. If you use these tips every time, when it comes to the exam, it will be much easier for you to do the task because you will be in the habit of doing these things. So, these tips will help you in real life situations as well as in the exam, because they will help you listen out for clues when you're hearing recordings or conversations. They will help you to be more prepared when you are speaking or to have a more natural conversation. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this all helps you.